As the president goes on the attack following his acquittal in the Senate impeachment trial, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says it's imperative the country get out of Trump's hands next year.
This, as she calls the State of the Union address, a manifesto of mistruths. John Roberts with more on the impeachment fallout.
It was all bullshit.
After 2 years of the Mueller investigation and nearly 6 months of impeachment, President Trump today took to the East Room to unload and declare victory.
I never thought a word would sound so good. It's called total acquittal.
The president thanked his Republican colleagues, all but one of whom stood by him, and took sharp aim at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and House Manager Adam Schiff.
Adam Schiff is a vicious, horrible person. Nancy Pelosi is a horrible person.
It was the second time in just a few hours that President Trump ripped the speaker. At the National Prayer Breakfast, with Pelosi looking on, the president scorched her and Mitt Romney.
I don't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong. Nor do I like people who say, I pray for you, when they know that that's not so.
At her weekly news conference, the speaker fired right back.
He's impeached forever, no matter what he says or whatever headlines he wants to carry around. You're impeached forever. You're never getting rid of that scar.
Pelosi also defended ripping up her copy of the president's State of the Union speech.
It was necessary to get the attention of the American people to say, this is not true, and this is how it affects you. That was not a State of the Union. That was his state of mind.
In the East Room, President Trump predicted Pelosi will soon be replaced by Kevin McCarthy.
You're going to be Speaker of the House because of this impeachment hoax.
And while Mitt Romney was fully expecting it, the president letting him know he's now an outsider.
Say hello to the people of Utah and tell them, I'm sorry about Mitt Romney.
Bringing this process to a conclusion.
In his post-acquittal speech 21 years ago, President Clinton apologized to the nation.
I want to say again to the American people how profoundly sorry I am for what I said and did to trigger these events.
From President Trump today, a different kind of apology.
I want to apologize to my family for having them have to go through a phony, rotten deal by some very evil and sick people.
It prompted hugs from daughter Ivanka and First Lady Melania Trump, but the president predicting his acquittal likely won't end it, that his opponents will be back for more.
But I've beaten them all my life, and I'll beat them again if I have to.
While there was no attempt on the president's part for a reconciliation with Nancy Pelosi today, in fact, it was exactly the opposite. The president did appeal for bipartisanship in the East Room today, saying that if Republicans and Democrats in Congress could come together, they could accomplish some incredible things.